Just for confirmation, Beam does not know who these individuals are, and they are just literally hands.
All right, well, this person is very physically active and busy and constantly physically moving. This person is very charismatic, right? They're going to be very, in other words, able to captivate people's imagination with, rich imagery while they're presenting themselves, aka charisma, right? They're definitely somebody who works in, a field where they communicate a lot.
Hope. And that everybody has the ability to end a cycle that they didn't ask for.
Right, speaking and communicating is probably a big part. Relationship with the father suffered for this person. They didn't, get the quality time from the masculine person in their life.
Sorry, Dad. As a kid, I resented him for it. Because I blamed him for making me soft. Because being soft meant that I was bullied. See, my dad wasn't traditionally masculine, so he didn't teach me how to use my hands. He didn't teach me how to hunt, how to fight. Man stuff.
And so, late bloomer, they probably weren't super successful when they were younger, rose to kind of get up on their horse after 30, 35. Definitely a technical person who focuses on details a lot, measured, and they'll think through what they're going to say, right, before they just blurt things out. Definitely focus on a large scope of things, like in terms of the scale. They're not going to be talking about what's happening in the neighborhood or the community. It's going to be more like in the world or in the country, things like this. And they'll be seeking to influence.
There are too many people that are the real life Lily Blooms of the world that have to deal with that every single day. I really wasn't the director. It was those women that were in charge. And from the beginning, I wanted all the intimate scenes to be from a female gaze, and I never wanted my bias to potentially, interject and go into the film.
Right, and kind of present this charismatic, large world picture that has an actual physical, implication or effect on physical things on that large scale.
No, this isn't my night. This is a night for all the women who we made this movie for.
Right, through their charismatic communication. Definitely very independent and sort of self-centered, but more like they have their own idea about right and wrong that may not agree with a societal idea of right or a legal idea of right and wrong, so they're going to be very strong about, my idea is what I go by. I'm accountable to my own morality, kind of a thing, my own legality even. But at the same time, full of that passionate, energy that I possess this, amazing thing that I'm presenting here. It's mine because I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've done it on my own, and all these things, and all this, fire and bluster about it. And they'll also be sensitive to people criticizing that or telling them how to do what they're doing about it. They'll follow one train of thought or one thought that will make their career, and they're not going to change ideas much. In fact, they're going to stick with one thing kind of till death do us part, and it'll be what they were raised with. So if we see the culture of what this person was raised into in their childhood, when they didn't have a great relationship with their father, right, by the way, and probably were a little bit oppressed by the father, the ideas that have grown out of that will basically be the ideas that this person will, study in. This will be their field. They'll be going into that and, just almost like digging into that and why this and how the history of that and and so on. And that'll probably have a lot to do with what they're charismatically, communicating to change the, the world and so on. All right. Let's see what else. Diplomatic in their speech, which I mentioned a bit. That are about their person who's really their heart basically is interested to achieve something for the world and achieve a high ideal about something for the world. Sometimes they're going to be very expressive and passionate about it, but then other times, keeping their cards super close to the chest and very, non-verbally communicative about their ideas.
You do have It Starts With Us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think. So.
You know, these pictures aren't terribly clear in terms of, you know, lines. So definitely this person is gonna see some battles. Some, you know, they're kind of always involved in some fighting and some, you know, intrigue and some real, you know, sword crossing sort of, you know, they're fighting for it. And this is going to be a, you know, a theme that, you know, like a magnet attracts, you know, the iron, they'll just naturally be involved and probably, you know, develop their personality and develop their careers by engaging in battle and some type of warfare. And for this person, it'll probably be a lot of, you know, verbal, intellectual warfare that has to do with, you know, physical things though. So by that same theme, right, we see more, you know, signs of secretiveness with what, but we would have seen that, you know, around the age of like, I don't know, 23, 25-ish, somewhere around there, this person would have had a big loss of direction in their life. Like, you know, it would have been so strong up to then and then just kind of dissipated into two thin, right, streams. And it's like, what am I doing actually? You know, what's my opinion? What do I really want to do with my life? So there would have been a loss of that. And then, you know, after, again, I can't see these lines terribly clear, so I'm kind of taking some guesses here based on how they look. Maybe around 37-ish. We would have seen a real resurgence of a sense of direction.
So it was shortly after that I actually decided to not act much anymore, and I started focusing on, you know, what I really felt drawn to do, which was producing and creating content that I thought could make the world better, which is what I was doing before Jane the Virgin happened. So,
but it is, you know, marked kind of like a thick and a dark purplish, so, you know, probably something to do with a fight or a battle that, you know, gets them juiced up again, and then they know what they want to do in life, and, you know, again, but it's probably kind of not a happy movie that they've, you know, but they'll have through that resurged with a sense of purpose and direction, you know, that they can stand with, but it's probably like a bit of a morbid one, you know, and definitely hard fought. I'll say that for sure.
Is it successful?
This person will always have influence, success. They have intelligence, influence, and success, you know, in some margin or another, right? Hands really just tell us what type of potentiality that we have, and, you know, all of us can use our resources in creative ways to produce different types of success if we know how to use our resources well. Sexuality is one aspect. There's definitely some misgiving, some conflict, and some lack of confidence, and there's some issues this person may show around that sexuality, and it can often show in these kind of cases with a kind of a louder presentation of confidence in this area, to, you know, a demonstration of like extra strong or confident sexuality, but that it's actually betraying some you know, some weakness in that area, some, you know, lack of self-confidence. And
difficult things related to sexuality.
Yeah.
I was introduced to porn when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Long before I ever, you know, could have an erection or even knew how I felt about anything.
And, you know, and for this person, that's because of the, you know, unresolved, difficult past with the father, the weakness in the father relationship.
Super accurate. So I won't reveal who it is until we've done the other readings. So we'll go on to the next person now. And the first one was Justin Baldoni? No. Okay. So Justin Baldoni and the wife of Ryan Reynolds, are they having a legal battle?
Oh, okay.
So when you're mentioning like the battle swords and the battle marks for both of them,
yeah,
that's literally happening right now.